let's segue this into, you're now an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Why were you at Social Security office?
I had lost my Social Security card, literally just being myself, losing everything. I'd lose my head if it wasn't on my shoulders.
I think you've still lost that.
Actually, that's a pretty good point. I'm not going to lie. That's something to consider. So I was in the Social Security office trying to get a new Social Security card. And you had to fill out all the information and whatnot. And one of the questions was, who are the parents on your birth certificate? Like I said, when you're legally adopted.
Ronald McDonald.
This is Florida. Mickey.
No last name, just McLovin. I put, who I won't say specific names, like whatever,
Yeah.
But, who had adopted me.
Yeah.
And I go back up to the window, and the lady goes, well, everything here looks okay, except the parents you wrote down are not the parents we have on file. I'm thinking in my head, this is probably the first time she's ever had to say that to anybody. But I was like...
Can you imagine me the person to break that news to somebody, too?
I mean...
Hey, who you've been calling
so
Mama and Dada is fucking fake news.
Right.
It's the CNN of news.
I'm like...
Yeah.
Okay, who is on my file for my parents? She goes, oh, I can't tell you that.
I'm not allowed.
And I looked at her like...
It's private information.
You mean to tell me if I was on the other side of that screen, I would know who my parents are, but you won't tell me who my parents... You've got the greatest secret ever, but you won't let me have it.
Or at least who the government considers who my parents are.
Can we just say, turn the screen around?
Speaking of parents, it's my father.
Daddy, is that you?
I'll see you in 10 years.
Yeah.
You ain't 1st July.
Oh, the Ricky Bobby reference.
So I'm like, what? I was like, okay. If I say the names that you're looking at, will you tell me if I'm right?
Will you tell me hot or cold? This poor lady at Social Security is like, I get minimum fucking wage.
Exactly.
To deal with this fucking asshole and his family problems.
She kind of like considered for a second. She's like, yeah, I'd do that. I was like, okay. Does it say...
You're paying Russian roulette with fucking family.
Pretty much. It's green or red.
So fucked up.
So I said my birth parents' name. I said, is it Joe Rodriguez and Don Starcheski? And she looks at the computer. She goes, no. And I did that right there. Started dying laughing in the middle of the Social Security office. And she goes, sir, what's funny? This is a very serious matter. And I looked that lady dead in the face and said, back to square one.
No, what you should have said is like, I can't find my parents.
Who am I?
But I'm not in the grocery store. I'm at the Social Security office.
Now all I know is I'm definitely stolen.
Oh, no.
So apparently I was never born. For some reason, they gave me my Social Security card. Like, you would have thought that'd be some kind of like national security threat kind
There's
of deal.
A legal
like,
document.
This guy has no idea who he is, where he comes from. Here's your number. I don't know. It was really weird. But I still don't know.
Just imagine. I just picture this old lady like having dinner with her husband that night. She's like, "Fucking get this, Rick."
There's this dude that came walking in.
And this motherfucker didn't know his parents, and I had to tell him he didn't know his parents. And this chicken's dry as fuck. Sorry.
And I had to tell him that I can't tell him.
And then he just started guessing.
And he was wrong.
Back to the old drawing board, bud.
He took him 3 tries and he still didn't get it. You imagine the husband who probably works at some like fucking mechanic shop, just like, oh, I did somebody's brakes today.
Might have actually cut the line. I'm not sure.
So I don't exist. I was never born. I'm not real. It's all simulation. It's fairy dust.
wait.
But you still got your Social Security card.
And jelly beans, so.
Yep. And then I found my original one.
Somehow we're adults. Do.